All right, ladies and gentlemen, Carbon Copy. That's my son here from college out of New York. That's Christopher. Christopher, wave everybody. Tell everybody, hey, what up, what it do, and all that.
How y'all doing today?
First of all, I wanted to make this video in response to, I'm getting tired of texting people in response and explaining this halftime situation. It has a lot of different meanings, but a lot of people, some of you guys in the comment section, even on other platforms where I post at, I'm a little reluctant posting here. It's a little bit of a division. But some of the stuff I've been receiving from folks, oh, this is demonic. This is the Illuminati. And I'm thinking to myself, where do you get that from? I think it's sad that Black History Month, and we talk about our different bloodlines through the scripture all the time, and what we're supposed to be looking at. And a lot of stuff that I'm seeing everywhere, a lot of platforms, different. It's the reviews are mixed. But the thing that's troubling to me is how our brains work and what we see, what we perceive, what you think you see. Which sometimes what you think you see ain't what you see. And you're really missing the point. This is where I'm tired of texting people and going back and forth. And it's amazing to me how all white, Caucasian, and women overseas, this is stunning. Like, mostly women, Caucasian women, whether it's here in the States, Ireland, Europe, wherever they are. A lot of women, if we get outside of the color thing, it's more women are understanding the message. And that's disturbing to me because I rarely see men out here saying what they saw. It's more women, and that's where that's off. It was a double entendre performance, as Kendrick likes to do. There was a time where in the church, older elders didn't want the young music, Christian music, up in the church because they thought it was the devil, even though none of the lyrics were, and they were representing a different crowd, and you're bringing them to Christ. And this is a problem that we had all the time. How do you engage with the young folk? Well, God gonna use whoever he gonna use. What did he say? I make the rocks cry out. He made a donkey speak to the prophet. So, I mean, if he can supply and do all of these things, where is your understanding that he's not using Kendrick to expose racism in this country, number one, and help expose the pedophilia that's going on? The devil can't cast himself out. Jesus said clearly, his house is divided. He can't throw himself out. What did they tell him? He was laying hands on people and casting out unclean spirits. They called Jesus the devil to his face because they didn't recognize what he was doing because of their understanding. And that's people's problem. Your understanding is so low that you're missing the point. The Sadducees, Pharisees, the scribes, the ones he called serpents, and your daddy is the devil, when he was doing the good work and doing things that were out of their conception, they immediately, what did they do? That's the devil. And what did he tell them? Devil can't cast itself out. So when I'm laying hands and casting out these unclean spirits, it's through holiness. A fellow dirty person can't throw another unclean person out because they're going to sit there and argue about each other's mistakes. So Kendrick gets out here and he has a bunch of black men dressed up in the American flag colors. The thing that I also found impressive was a lot of country Caucasian brothers that wore the hats and the boots came out and said they respected the performance because he didn't desecrate the country, even though he used the country to make a point. When he was on stage and they bent over wearing the colors of the United States flag, it was to show you that America was built on the backs of black slaves. And Uncle Sam, which is Samuel L. Jackson, perfect person to play that part, was telling Kendrick the way the government always has done black folks for a long time, even after slavery. That's what the 40 acres and a mule was about. How you've promised us stuff for a long time, and gave it away to other people and put your foot on our neck and made us work 2 to 3 times harder just to make $2-3 less than our counterpart, being told what to do, being policed. When we get together, when Sam said, when they were under the pole and he did Man in the Garden, and it was like a acapella, and all the brothers were sitting up under there, here come the government, that's Uncle Sam. And he told them, oh, that's the cheat code. Whenever y'all get together, y'all become powerful, y'all become strong. Deduct one life. What's that mean? The government has a way of stopping black movement. Martin Luther King, let's deduct him. He's gathering them together. And all y'all want to do, oh, that was demonic, that was evil, that was satanic. Y'all completely dropped the ball on this. Some of you black Christians completely, and it's infuriating. Why did white America pick up on this? The double entendre, it was a bop, it was a hip hop beef. You squashed a pedophile and disgraced him worldwide because the dude has been grooming little girls for a long time. And dogs. Bestiality. He's been doing this a long time. So it needs to be brought low. What did God say? Ain't nothing done under the sun that won't be exposed. It's just not the way that you think it should be. It's out of your realm of how it should be exposed. Understand, this song worldwide is celebrating the downfall of a nasty, of a person who grooms little girls and got away with it for years until now. That was the other celebration part. That he was found out to be a Milli Vanilli type. He's been fake all this time. Here you got Kendrick come into the game. This guy's been winning awards from Caucasian dignitaries on the way he writes his music, a Pulitzer Award. Then in his younger years, he gets called in front of the local state city government in California, and they hand him another award for humanitarian, being an icon in the black community, giving money into programs helping uplift young folks in his community. But that was demonic. Oh my God, we got to watch out for this. Oh my God. And you don't even know who you're talking about. This is the part that really burns me up. It's no different from people reading books that are different versions of the Bible, and you getting scriptures twisted because those have removed the truth. And you go out and looking at these people surface watching the Super Bowl, and then they want to add them. None of that had anything to do with what was being showed to us on that stage. And the fact that he even used Samuel to show that he was trying to shut him up. You can't do that. That's too ghetto. Oh, you can't. No, you had to do things the way America wants you to do things. That was the point. And then look at what happened. You've had people come out, especially certain stuffy white folk who didn't want to see that, who said it was too black. There was no white people on the stage. Why are we looking at this? I don't know what this is. And even white counterparts have said, that's us using our white privilege card, complaining. And what people don't realize is that you complained yourself right in front of that bullet that Kendrick fired out there about racism in this country. People walked, right? What does that do? James Elmos came out and said, oh, we should have had this and we should have had that, or nobody wants to see that. It just really, that halftime show for me just really exposed how far and separated we are from one another. Race, cultural. He did exactly what he wanted to do in that performance while stepping on the neck of a pedophile. He also brought you a coded message about racism in this country. And if you're too much of an overthinker, you completely missed it. And you still fall in front of that bullet that he fired because you are falling into that category of people overanalyzing or not being in touch with reality because we're so stuck and so gone in a belief system that it exists, but sometimes we can stretch it too far. You completely miss the narrative, folks, and that's bad. When again, the internet is full of Caucasian women all over the world who hit the mark right on point.
They eating this up.
They eating it up, as my son said. They are just, oh my God, I studied Kendrick and I never knew this. These are white people, man, coming out. Again, I'm not that racist type. I'm just telling you what's happening. There's an awakening happening to the black culture. And if you are too conspiracy on, I mean, don't get me wrong, we believe in the spiritual and the natural, okay? But you're missing it, man. When you got Caucasian women coming out saying that they never knew this about black people until the Super Bowl. And these women, young, old, but there's been some older Caucasian women that come out and break the history down as if they were black, and they spot on. But to hear Caucasian America come out and say, if it had not been for this halftime performance, they would have never known about 40 Acres and a Mule. Because some of them have come out and said they were not raised to know black culture. We were just raised to hate them and to look at them and look down at them. These women are coming out saying that this performance has opened their eyes to black culture, the black experience, the black suppression in America that they had no idea because of, as they say themselves, the privilege of their race and their status in society. They had no idea until they saw the halftime show. That's what it was about, folks. Waking people up to what we've been going through all our lives, and we've been making noise about it. But on the biggest stage, this is and y'all say it's demonic. I say it's a move of God, a hand of God on Kendrick, to break down walls, to break down doors that have never been done before, with a black man up there, intelligent as he is, and a God-fearing man. Y'all don't know that. He told Drake in one of his songs, he says, you don't know nothing about raising your son to pray, to do what God wants you to do. You don't know nothing about that. That's what he's telling me in his music. He's not one of them Illuminati puppets. I can honestly and for sure tell you that. People think he's a Hebrew Israelite, but I don't think he's a Hebrew Israelite. He does mention, and the reason why people think he's an Israelite is because he keeps saying the Most High. I'm not an Israelite, but I call him the Most High myself. So when people hear that, oh, he's a black Israelite, and people get pumped up about that. He never said he was. He just says he believes in the finished work. And he calls God the Most High. That's what it says in the book. But if y'all don't know none of that about him, and you go off on these little tangents and all these other videos that other people be making up off the pop of their dome and just making false assumptions, and then you miss the cultural message, the movement that's going on. Ain't nobody talking about that game. Nobody. They're talking about the movement and the message that boy put out there on that stage that night, where it has touched white America in a way that they're even crying on video about how they were so misled as youngsters when they were coming up and have not been taught about our struggle. It's amazing. And the fact that I'm looking at people saying, oh, it was this, it was demonic, that blows my mind. How y'all missed it and can call yourself so spiritual, but you too spiritual. If you missed this message, black men dressed in red, white, and blue. We helped build this country on the backs of slaves. And then he split the flag. That was the topper. People heard the music, but were you watching the performance, the artwork, what he was trying to convey? When the flag split, Democrat, Republican, saved, not saved, Jew, Christian, that's this country. It's split. Right down the middle. He made that point as an entendre moment. The reaction is split down the middle, just as he did it on stage. The boy is a genius. God-given, and he gives God the credit. But if y'all don't know that about him, you will make wrong assumptions. The hand of God is on this boy, moving. And the reason why, the devil ain't gonna promote education and awareness and waking you up to a struggle. That's not the devil's plan. His plan is to continue to keep you brainwashed. This young man come out trying to unbrainwash, and people double down in the brainwashing. Sad, folks. It's very sad. You won't allow yourself to be educated because you've been brought up a certain way and you think you're supposed to see things the way you think you're supposed to see them. That's why God said, my thoughts, my ways are higher than yours. He will use and who he will use. Kendrick is like Paul. Paul was killing Christians, right? And God turned around and used them to write some of the best books in the New Testament. Here you got this dude coming out, destroying the narrative and exposing racism, all while also being criticized. And people don't know that this guy is a believer, a family guy. He's not one of these dudes out here promoting upside down crosses, performing on stages with blood and fire and all this demonic looking crap. He used American colors, the flag, and broke a story down. But if in such a way, it was so intelligent that it cut through the soul of white America and caused them to realize what we've been going through. And it's amazing to me to hear people say, until the Super Bowl, Caucasians, they had no idea what our struggle was, because Kendrick made them go online and look stuff up. And they got back in front of that camera days later after that Super Bowl, some in tears, and said, I am so sorry. We were not raised to know y'all's culture. I had just become a fan of his and black culture. That was the point of the Super Bowl halftime performance, folks. And if you didn't get that, I feel sorry for you. Peace.